Admiral Dae-sung stood tall in the command center of Earth's defense headquarters. The room was quiet except for the soft beeps from computer stations. Large screens covered the walls, showing stars and planets. Earth had only been traveling between stars for 15 years. They had built one colony on a planet around the nearest star and made a small fleet of ships. "Sir, we're getting a signal," said Lieutenant Tae, his fingers moving quickly over his screen. "It's from the Galactic Council." Dae-sung nodded, his face serious. The Galactic Council ruled most of the known galaxy. Humans had met them only 3 times before. Each meeting had been short and cold. "Put them on the main screen," Dae-sung ordered. The largest screen flickered. An alien appeared. It had blue scales covering its body and 5 eye stalks that moved independently. This was a Vrexian, one of the Council's main diplomats. "Greetings, humans of Earth," the alien said, its voice translated by computers. "I am High Envoy Krestal of the Galactic Council. I bring an official message." Captain Yoonji entered the room quietly and took her place beside Dae-sung. She handed him a small data tablet without a word. The alien continued, "The Council has observed your civilization for some time. You have achieved faster-than-light travel, which qualifies you for official recognition." "That sounds positive," whispered Yoonji. Dae-sung said nothing. His eyes were fixed on the screen. "With recognition comes responsibility," the alien said. "The Galactic Council maintains peace and order among 10,000 worlds. This requires resources." Dae-sung felt his stomach tighten. He had read reports about the Council's dealings with other new civilizations. "The Council hereby requires Earth to provide tribute," the alien announced. "You will deliver 30% of all rare Earth minerals extracted annually. You will provide 25% of your freshwater reserves, and you will supply 10,000 human specimens for biological research each year." The room erupted in shocked whispers. General Kim slammed his fist on the table. "That's slavery!" Dae-sung raised his hand for silence. On the data tablet Yoonji had given him, he read intelligence reports from Earth's few allies. The Council had done this before to dozens of worlds. Those who paid tribute slowly had their resources drained away. Those who refused were attacked and conquered. "This is not negotiable," the alien continued. "You have 30 Earth days to prepare your first tribute. A collection fleet will arrive at that time." "And if we refuse?" Dae-sung asked calmly. All 5 eye stalks focused on him. "That would be unwise. The last civilization that refused no longer exists. Their home planet is now a mining colony." The alien's tone became slightly softer. "This is simply how the galaxy works, Admiral. Strong civilizations lead. New civilizations contribute. It has been this way for 50,000 years." "I understand," Dae-sung said. "We will discuss your request and prepare a response." "There is nothing to discuss." "You will comply," the alien said. "Transmission ends." The screen went black. For 3 seconds no one spoke. Then the room exploded with voices. "They can't be serious. We should surrender immediately. Their fleet could destroy us." "No way, we fight." Dae-sung looked at the data tablet again. According to intelligence, the Council believed Earth had only 20 warships. They had no idea about the secret fleet Earth had been building since first contact. "Admiral," said Dr. Jiwoo, Earth's head scientist, "the Council species have a weakness. Their neural systems all evolved from a common ancestor. Our sonic technology might affect them strongly." Chief Engineer Han Bin nodded in agreement. "And our quantum shields are unlike anything they've seen. Their weapons might not work against them." Dae-sung turned to Eunji. "What does intelligence say about their fleet, eh?" Swiped on her tablet. "They'll send 15 harvester ships and 30 warships. Standard procedure for a new tribute world. They don't expect resistance. They're treating us like all the others," Dae-sung said quietly. "But we are not like the others." He looked around the room at Earth's military leaders. Most were scared. Some were angry. All were waiting for his decision. "Contact President Minho," he ordered. "Tell him we need to activate Protocol Thunderstorm." Captain Yoonji's eyes widened. "Thunderstorm? Are you sure?" Dae-sung nodded. "The Council has made a crucial mistake. They think we're weak because we're new. They don't understand humans. He walked to the center of the room and raised his voice. Listen to me. For 300 years we fought each other on Earth. We built weapons that could destroy our planet 10 times over. When we finally made peace, we didn't forget how to fight. We just chose not to. He brought up a map of Earth's solar system on the main screen. Protocol Thunderstorm has been ready since we first detected alien signals. We've hidden shipyards in the asteroid belt. We've built weapon factories on the far side of the moon. We have 300 warships, not 20. General Kim stood up. Even with 300 ships, we'd be facing the might of the entire council. They have millions of vessels. Yes, said Dae-sung, but they won't send millions. They'll send 45 because they think that's all they need. And we'll be ready. He turned to Dr. Jiwoo. How soon can you modify our sonic weapons to target their neural systems? 2 weeks, she replied. Maybe less. Do it in 1, he ordered. Then he looked at Hanbin. And I want the quantum shields tested against every weapon we know of. If there are weaknesses, find them. Yoonji was already on the communicator with the president's office. She looked up. Sir, President Minho has approved Protocol Thunderstorm. All hidden facilities are being activated now. Dae-sung nodded. Send messages to our colony on Proxima B. Tell them to prepare for possible attack and contact our allies. Among the smaller council worlds, some of them hate the tribute system as much as we do. He walked to the window that overlooked the city below. People were going about their normal lives, unaware of the threat hanging over them. The council thinks we'll either surrender or make a hopeless last stand, he said quietly. They expect us to act like every other young civilization they've encountered. Yoonji came to stand beside him. What will we do instead? Dae-sung's face hardened. We'll show them something they've never seen before. When their collection fleet arrives expecting tribute, they'll find a battle fleet instead. He turned back to the room, his voice firm. We have 30 days to prepare Earth's first response to galactic bullying. Let's make sure the Council never forgets it. As the meeting ended, Dae-sung looked once more at the stars visible through the window. Among those distant points of light was the home of the Galactic Council, a civilization that had ruled for 50,000 years. They think they know what humans are, he said to himself. They're about to learn how wrong they are. The next day, President Min-ho addressed all of Earth in a calm, measured voice. He told people about the Galactic Council's demands but said nothing about Protocol Thunderstorm. We are working on a response that will protect Earth's interests, was all he said about their plans. Behind the scenes, humanity was moving faster than it ever had before. On the far side of the moon, hidden bases that had been disguised as research stations revealed their true purpose. Massive doors opened in the lunar surface. Warships that had been built in secret rose into space. Chief Engineer Hanbin hadn't slept in 30 hours. He stood in the main hangar of Luna Base 1, watching as workers installed new weapons on the UEF Defiance, Earth's largest warship. The quantum torpedoes are almost ready, said his assistant, looking at a data screen. But we've never tested them against actual council shields. Hanbin nodded. Their shields work by creating an energy field that blocks matter. Our torpedoes shift partially out of normal space. They should pass right through. Should, the assistant repeated nervously. That's why we're installing backup weapons too, Hanbin said. He pointed to another part of the ship where crews were working. Those are standard missiles but with 10 times the explosive power of anything the Council has seen before. In orbit around Mars, Captain Yoonji was overseeing a different kind of preparation. 200 civilian transport ships were having their outer hulls removed, revealing the warships hidden underneath. For years, Earth had been building its fleet in plain sight, disguising military vessels as ordinary cargo ships. How soon can Battle Group 3 be ready? She asked the shipyard. Commander, 12 hours, he replied. We're almost done removing the fake hulls. Yoonji checked her tablet. Make it 8 hours. Admiral Dae-sung wants all ships ready for combat drills by tomorrow. Back on Earth, Dr. Jiwoo's laboratory was filled with the strange sounds of sonic weapons being tested. She and her team had been studying samples of Council species biology for years, looking for weaknesses. Their neural systems all share a similar structure, she explained to Admiral Dae-sung, who had come to check on her progress. This frequency causes pain without permanent damage. This one, she adjusted a dial, causes temporary paralysis. Dae-sung nodded. Can these be mounted on our ships? Yes, Ji-woo said. And we're making smaller versions for boarding parties. If we need to capture Council ships instead of destroying them, these will help. Good, Dae-sung said. I want to win this fight, but I don't want to kill unnecessarily. The Council needs to learn we're not to be trifled with, not that we're monsters. In the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, the largest secret was being revealed. What had appeared to be ordinary mining operations were actually massive shipyards. Giant construction frames held half-finished warships that were now being rushed to completion. Fleet Commander Yuna supervised as crews worked around the clock, adding weapons, shields, and engines to ships that had been built in sections, waiting for this moment. We won't have time to finish all of them, she told her second-in-command. Focus on the ones that are at least 80% complete. We need numbers more than perfection. Across the solar system, soldiers trained in virtual reality simulations based on what little was known about Council fighting tactics. Engineers worked to improve Earth's weapons. Scientists analyzed every piece of data about the Council's technology. 15 days after the Council's message, Admiral Dae-sung called a meeting of all fleet commanders. They gathered in the war room at Earth Defense Headquarters. Show me our status, Dae-sung ordered. A three-dimensional map of the solar system appeared, showing the positions of Earth's forces. Blue dots represented warships that were ready. Yellow dots showed ships still being prepared. We have 217 ships combat ready, reported Captain Yoonji. Another 83 will be ready within the next 10 days. That gives us 300 total, exactly as planned. The Council still believes we only have 20, added Intelligence Officer Sung. Their spy satellites have been fed false data for years. Dae-sung nodded and turned to Dr. Ji-woo. How are the sonic weapons coming? All ships in battle groups 1 and 2 have been equipped, she said. We're working on the rest now. And the quantum shields? Dae-sung asked Han Bin. Testing shows they can withstand Council energy weapons for 3 times longer than our previous shields, the engineer said. And the quantum torpedoes work perfectly in simulations. Dae-sung looked at the map again. The Council expects us to submit or to make a desperate last stand with our tiny fleet. They don't expect us to have a real chance of winning. He waved his hand, and the map changed to show the expected route of the incoming Council fleet. They'll send 15 Harvester ships to collect their tribute along with 30 warships as escorts. Those warships are powerful, but they're only bringing them as a show of force. They don't expect to use them. Fleet Commander Yuna spoke up. Even with our 300 ships, we'll be outnumbered if they call for reinforcements. That's why we need to win quickly and decisively, Dae-sung said. We hit them hard, disable their ships, and show them that taking Earth would cost more than it's worth. President Minho, who had been quietly listening, finally spoke. The Council has ruled the galaxy for 50,000 years by convincing everyone they're invincible. If we can prove they're not, other worlds might find their courage too. Exactly, said Dae-sung. This isn't just about saving Earth, it's about changing how things are done in the galaxy. He looked at each person in the room. 5 more days of preparation, then we begin moving our fleet into position. When the Council arrives expecting tribute, they'll find something very different waiting for them. As the meeting ended, Dae-sung and Minho stood alone looking at the map of Earth's forces. Do you think we can win? The president asked quietly. I think we can surprise them, Dae-sung replied. And sometimes surprise is enough to change everything. In the shipyard orbiting Mars, Captain Yoonji watched as the last fake hull was removed from a transport ship, revealing the sleek warship underneath. Its sides gleamed with newly installed weapon ports. On its hull, painters were adding the ship's new name, UEF Defiance 2. Will it be enough? Asked her assistant. Yoonji thought about the history of Earth, about all the times humans had faced seemingly impossible odds. It will have to be, she said. Because the alternative is becoming slaves to the Council, and humans don't do well as slaves. Throughout the solar system, humanity prepared for war. Not because they wanted it, but because sometimes the only way to have peace is to show you're willing to fight for it. The day of reckoning arrived exactly 30 days after the Council's demand. Earth's space monitoring stations detected the Council ships entering the solar system. In the command center of the UEF Defiance, Admiral Dae-sung watched the main screen as red dots appeared, moving toward Earth. 15 harvester ships and 30 warships, just as expected, said Captain Yoon-ji, standing at his side. Are our ships in position? Dae-sung asked. Yes, sir. All 300 ships are hidden behind the moon, ready to move on your command. For 3 years, Earth had been developing technology to hide ships from Council scanners. Now they would see if it worked. They're sending a message, called out Lieutenant Tae from his station. The main screen changed to show the face of a reptilian alien. Unlike the blue-scaled diplomat, this one had red scales and a ridge of spikes along its head. I am Fleet Commander Vex Thorn of the Galactic Council Collection Force, the alien said. We have arrived to accept your tribute as ordered. Transmit landing coordinates for our harvester ships immediately. Dae-sung nodded to Yoon-ji. She pressed a button on her console. This is Captain Yoon-ji of Earth Defense. We have prepared a response to your demand. Please hold position at the edge of our system while we send representatives. The alien's eyes narrowed. You were ordered to prepare tribute, not representatives. We have prepared what we think is appropriate, Yoon-ji replied calmly. Please hold position. The alien glared but finally nodded. You have 1 hour. Then we approach Earth with or without your permission. When the screen went dark, Dae-sung turned to his crew. Battle stations. All ships prepare to move. Throughout, the fleet crews rushed to their positions. Weapon systems came online, shield generators hummed to life. Status of Special Forces? Dae-sung asked. Commander Jun-ho reports his team is ready, replied Yoon-ji. They're aboard the stealth ship and moving toward the Council flagship. Dae-sung nodded. Begin Operation Thunderstorm. On the bridge of her ship, Fleet Commander Yuna gave the order to move. The human fleet emerged from behind the moon, engines glowing blue against the blackness of space. Instead of the 20 ships, the Council expected 300 warships moved in perfect formation. Open a channel to the Council fleet, ordered Dae-sung. The reptilian alien appeared on screen again. For a moment, it seemed unable to speak as it stared at something off-screen, presumably the sensor readings of Earth's massive fleet. What is the meaning of this? It finally hissed. Your species was assessed as having no more than 20 military vessels. Your assessment was wrong, Dae-sung replied simply. I am Admiral Dae-sung of the United Earth Fleet. The people of Earth do not pay tribute. We offer friendship to those who respect us and resistance to those who threaten us. The choice is yours. The alien's scales darkened with anger. This defiance is unprecedented. Your pathetic fleet cannot hope to stand against the might of the Council. We will crush you as an example to others. You are welcome to try, said Dae-sung calmly. The connection cut off. On the main screen, they could see the Council warships moving into attack formation. They're powering up weapons, reported Lieutenant Tae. Raise quantum shields, ordered Dae-sung. All ships, prepare to execute Maneuver Typhoon on my mark. The Council ships fired first. Beams of energy shot across space toward the human fleet. They struck the quantum shields, which flickered but held. Shields at 92%, reported Hanbin from the engineering station. The quantum technology is working. All ships, execute Maneuver Typhoon, ordered Dae-sung. The human fleet suddenly split into smaller groups that moved in complex patterns. The Council targeting systems, designed to track conventional ships moving in predictable ways, struggled to lock onto the erratically moving Earth vessels. Launch quantum torpedoes, ordered Dae-sung. From dozens of human ships, the new weapons launched. Unlike normal torpedoes that left visible trails, these seemed to flicker in and out of existence as they traveled. When they reached the Council ships, they passed right through their shields as if they weren't there. On the main screen, the crew of the Defiance watched as Council ships suddenly lost power. Their engines shut down. Their weapons went dark. "It's working," exclaimed Hunbin. "The torpedoes are disabling their systems without destroying the ships." Meanwhile, Commander Jun-Ho and his team had reached the Council flagship. Using stealth technology, their small ship attached to the larger vessel. Cutting tools silently opened a way in. "We're aboard," Jun-Ho reported through his secure comm. Moving to the bridge. Inside the Council ship, the Special Forces team moved quickly through corridors. When they encountered Council crew members, they used the sonic devices Dr. Jiwoo had created. The aliens fell to the ground, paralyzed but unharmed. On the battlefield, the Council forces were in chaos. Half their ships were disabled. The others were trying to target the fast-moving human vessels without success. "They're calling for reinforcements," reported Unji, who was monitoring their communications. "As expected," said Dae-sung. "Time for Phase 2. He opened a channel to all human ships. "All vessels, move to position Beta. Prepare to deploy sonic disruptors." The human fleet regrouped into a sphere around the Council ships. From each vessel, a new kind of weapon was activated. Though there was no sound in space, the sonic disruptors sent waves that passed through the hulls of the Council ships. Inside, those ships' alien crew members dropped to the floor, their neural systems overwhelmed by the precisely tuned frequencies. On the Council flagship, Jun-Ho and his team reached the bridge just as the sonic attack began. Protected by special gear, they watched as the command crew, including Fleet Commander Vexthorn, collapsed. "Flagship bridge secured," Jun-Ho reported. "Council commanders are incapacitated." Admiral Dae-sung nodded in satisfaction. "Deploy boarding. Teams to all disabled Council ships. Secure their command centers and disable their self-destruct systems." Across the battlefield, small ships launched from the human fleet, carrying teams to take control of the Council vessels. 3 hours after the battle began, it was over. Not a single Council ship had escaped. Not a single one had been destroyed. And remarkably, not a single life had been lost, on either side. From the bridge of the UEF Defiance, Admiral Dae-sung looked at the captured Council fleet. "Open a channel." "To Earth," he ordered. President Min-ho appeared on screen. "Admiral, we've been watching. Congratulations on your victory." "Thank you, Mr. President," said Dae-sung. "We've secured the entire Council fleet with minimal damage. No casualties on either side." "Excellent," said Min-ho. "And what about our guests?" "They'll wake up in a few hours. By then, I intend to be on my way to the Council homeworld with their own flagship." Min-ho's eyebrows rose. "That's bold, Admiral." "Bold is what got us this far," Dae-sung replied. "The Council has ruled through fear for too long. It's time they learned anew." As teams of engineers examined the captured Council ships, learning their secrets, Admiral Dae-sung prepared for the next phase of humanity's introduction to the galaxy. It would not be as supplicants bearing tribute, but as equals demanding respect. 3 weeks after the battle in Earth's solar system, Admiral Dae-sung stood on the bridge of the captured Council flagship. They had renamed it UEF Diplomat. The name was both a hope and a warning. Captain Yunji monitored the screens as they approached the Council homeworld. It was a huge planet with 3 moons, surrounded by thousands of ships and space stations. "They've detected us," she said. "They recognize the ship, but are confused by our energy signature." "Open communications," ordered Dae-sung. "Tell them we are a diplomatic mission from Earth, requesting an emergency session of the full Council." The response came quickly. "Flagship Dominion, your return was not expected. Where is Fleet Commander Vexthorn?" "He is safe on Earth," Dae-sung replied. "I am Admiral Dae-sung of Earth. We have come to discuss the future relationship between our worlds." There was a long pause. Finally, a different voice responded, higher in authority. "Your actions are unprecedented. The collection fleet you captured must be returned immediately. We will discuss that during the Council session," Dae-sung said calmly. "Please be aware that we come with peaceful intentions, but we are prepared to defend ourselves if necessary." As he spoke, the rest of his fleet emerged from faster-than-light travel. 50 Earth warships, the best of their fleet, took position around the diplomat. There was another long pause. Then, "The council will convene in 6 hours. You may approach and dock at Station Alpha. Your escort must remain at the system edge." "Agreed," said Daesung. "But be advised, any aggressive action against my ships will be met with force." As the diplomat moved toward the space station, Yunji brought Daesung a data tablet. "Our scans show over 5,000 council warships in the system. If they attack, even with our technology, we cannot win." "They won't attack," Daesung said. "Not yet. They want to know how we defeated their collection fleet. They want to know if we can do it again." 6 hours later, Admiral Daesung stood before the full Galactic Council. The chamber was enormous, with seats for representatives from thousands of worlds. In the center was a raised platform where the 7 high counselors sat, one from each of the founding species of the council. "This session is called to address the unprovoked attack on a council collection fleet by the Earth species," announced the head counselor, a tall, gray-skinned being. "How do you explain these actions?" Daesung stepped forward. "There was no unprovoked attack. There was a response to a demand for tribute that included resources and human lives. We do not recognize the Council's right to demand such things." Murmurs spread through the chamber. Many representatives looked surprised. Others seemed afraid. A few showed signs that might be approval. "The tribute system has maintained peace for 50,000 years, said another counselor. "All new species contribute to the greater good." "Is it the greater good?" asked Daesung. "Or is it the good of the 7 founding worlds who take but never give?" He turned to address the whole chamber. "We have studied council records captured from your ships. The 7 founding worlds take tribute from 2,000 younger species, yet provide nothing in return. This is not alliance, this is empire." "You overstep," shouted a counselor. "Guards, remove this creature." Armed guards moved toward Daesung, but he remained calm. "Before you take action, know that my fleet has shared everything we've learned with Earth. If I do not return safely, 50 more council collection fleets will meet the same fate as the first." The guard stopped, looking to the counselors for instruction. Captain Yunji stepped forward holding a data projector. "With your permission, we would like to show evidence of the Council's actions toward developing worlds." Without waiting for permission, she activated the device. Images filled the air above them. Planets stripped of resources, species reduced to poverty. Worlds that had resisted and been destroyed. "We know that many of you," Daesung gestured to the representatives from younger worlds, "suffer under this system. Some pay tribute that cripples your economies. Others provide specimens that never return home." The chamber erupted in sound as hundreds of representatives began to speak at once. Some denied the accusations. Others confirmed them. Many simply looked shocked, as if learning this for the first time. The head counselor struck a crystal bell, bringing silence. "What do you want, human? Why come here if not to start a war you cannot win?" "We come to propose a new way," said Daesung. "Earth does not seek to destroy the Council. We seek to reform it." He stepped closer to the 7. "The Council could be a true alliance of worlds where all benefit. Where advanced worlds help developing ones rather than exploit them. Where cooperation replaces tribute." "Impossible," said one counselor. "The system has worked for millennia." "Has it?" asked Daesung. He turned to the chamber again. "How many of your worlds would prefer a council where all members have a voice? Where resources are traded, not taken? Where peace is maintained by cooperation, not fear?" Slowly, representatives began to stand. First dozens, then hundreds, then thousands. The 7 counselors looked around in shock. "This is sedition," cried one. "This is democracy," replied Daesung. "Something we humans value greatly." For 3 days, the debate raged in the council chamber. The 7 fought to maintain their power. But more and more representatives of younger worlds joined what was now being called the Earth Coalition. Finally, faced with the possibility of a splintered council, or worse, all-out war, the 7 agreed to negotiations. 6 months later, Admiral Daesung and President Minho stood together on the new council station, built in neutral space. Representatives from all council worlds were gathering for the signing of the new Galactic Charter. "Did you ever think it would end like this?" asked Minho. "Not exactly like this," Daesung admitted. "I thought we might need to fight more battles." "Sometimes the best victory is the one where no shots are fired," said Minho. The new charter abolished the tribute system. It established equal voting rights for all member worlds. It created programs where advanced worlds would share technology with developing ones, and it included strict protections for the sovereignty of all species. As the signing ceremony began, Ambassador Su Min, Earth's new representative to the Council, took her place among the delegates. Though the UEF Defiance still orbited overhead, its weapons were powered down. Beside it floated hospital ships and cultural exchange vessels. "The galaxy is entering a new age," said the newly elected council leader, a representative from a mid-level world, one of true cooperation. As Admiral Daesung watched, he thought about humanity's journey to the stars. They had gone looking for new worlds and new life. They had found a system of oppression and exploitation, and rather than submit or simply save themselves, they had changed that system. Not through overwhelming force, though they had been ready to fight, but by showing that there was another way, a better way, to build a galactic community. "This is just the beginning," he said, quietly to himself. "Now the real work starts." Behind him, representatives from 10,000 worlds prepared to sign a document that would forever change the course of galactic history. And it had all started because the Galactic Council had made one crucial mistake. They had demanded tribute from humans,